I found a cabin deep in the woods, completely hidden, like it wasn't supposed to be there. At first, I thought I just got lucky, a place to stay for the night. But then I noticed something strange. There was no lock on the inside. And when I tried to leave, something was already outside. This happened to me about 6 years ago, back when I was still doing solo hiking trips pretty regularly. At the time, I was in my mid-20s, and I liked being alone more than most people I knew. Not in a bad way. I just enjoyed the quiet. No noise, no people, just the forest. Every few months, I would plan out a trip somewhere remote. Nothing extreme, just far enough that once you were out there, you were on your own. This trip was supposed to be simple. 2 nights in the woods. That was it. I got to the trailhead early in the morning, packed my gear, and started hiking in. The first few hours were completely normal. Clear weather, easy trail, no people. By early afternoon, I had covered a good distance, and I started looking for a place to camp. That's when things started to feel off. At first, it was small. I realized I hadn't seen a trail marker in a while. I didn't think much of it. That happens sometimes. So I kept going. But after another 20 minutes, something changed. The forest looked different. Not in a clear way. Just wrong. The trees felt closer together. The air felt heavier. And the biggest thing, it was quiet. No birds, no insects, no wind. I stopped walking, just to listen. Nothing. That's when I felt it. Or that feeling in your chest, like something isn't right. And then I saw it. About 40 feet through the trees. There was a cabin. It didn't look completely abandoned, but it didn't look right either. No path leading to it. No signs it was supposed to be there. It was just sitting there. I walked toward it slowly. The closer I got, the worse that feeling became. The door was closed. No lock. I knocked once. Waited. Nothing. So I pushed it open. Inside, it was dim. Still. The air felt heavy, like it hadn't been disturbed in a long time. There wasn't much in there. A table, a chair, a bed frame. At first, I actually felt relieved. It meant I had somewhere to stay. But then, I noticed the door. There was a latch, but it wasn't on my side. It was on the outside. I just stood there, staring at it, trying to make sense of it. Then I started looking around more carefully, and that's when I saw the scratches. On the walls, near the door, deep, repeated, not random. I stepped closer. There were more of them. Around the window, across the wall. I walked over to the window. The glass was intact, but it had been screwed shut. From the outside, and around the frame, more scratches. Deeper ones, like someone had tried to force it open. That's when it hit me. Someone had been trapped in that cabin. I should have left, but it was already getting dark, and I didn't want to get lost out there. So I stayed. I set my bag down and just stood there, listening. The silence inside felt different, not empty, contained. After a while, I turned on my flashlight. That's when I noticed something else. In the corner, there was a small pile of items, a backpack, food wrappers, a water bottle. They didn't look old. They looked recent. That's when my stomach dropped. Someone had been there. Recently. Maybe. They still were. That's when I heard it. A sound from outside. Scraping. Soft at first, then louder. Dragging. I froze. Then, footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Right outside the cabin. I held my breath, waiting for the door to open. But it didn't. Instead, there was pressure. On the door. The wood creaked. The handle shifted, like someone was leaning against it. Then it stopped, That's when something clicked. If someone was out there, why weren't they coming in? The door wasn't locked. Nothing was stopping them, unless they didn't want to come inside, or worse, they wanted me to stay inside. That was it. I grabbed my bag immediately. My hands were shaking. I moved toward the door. Slowly, I pulled it open and stepped outside. For a second, nothing. Then, movement. To my left. Something slipped between the trees. Fast. Too fast. I ran. I didn't think. I just ran. Branches hit my face, my arms. I didn't care. And behind me. I could hear it. Not running. Walking. Steady. Following me. Same pace. Like it didn't need to catch me. That was the worst part. It sounded calm. Like it already knew something I didn't. I kept running until I couldn't anymore. Then I saw it. The trail. The real trail. And the moment I stepped onto it, everything changed. The sounds came back. The forest felt normal again, like I had crossed a line. I didn't stop. I followed that trail all the way back to my car. I didn't sleep. I didn't look back. When I got home, I unpacked my gear, and that's when I noticed something. My flashlight. It wasn't there. At first I thought I dropped it, but then I remembered I had it in my hand, inside the cabin. I used it to look outside. I know that. So I checked everything. Nothing. And that's when it hit me. I didn't lose it. I didn't drop it. There's a moment I don't remember. A gap. And whatever happened in that moment, that's when I lost it. Because the last thing I remember is holding that flashlight inside that cabin. And after that, everything just cuts, which means something happened, and I don't know what.